Righty. Here we are. Another day of opportunity of Inktober. So, today's subject matter is peers. If I remember correctly. Let me double check. Peers. So we have this lovely lady who has her ear pierced. Okay, fair enough. And I'll just start by blocking in her here and see where we end up, chat. See where we end up. That was way too much. But okay. We start big and we work our way in. Something like that. Yeah. So that one thing. Kind of go like that. And a bit more this way. A bit rounded like that. Ooh, would you look at that, chat? And it's interesting, this thing kind of just continues. We can use that to frame her nose. And I suppose also profile at large. And I mean, that's just the edge. And then we have a something like that. Not bad. Okay, this one needs to be much higher up. So, any exciting news? Not that much. Well, a little bit of exciting news. I finally got around to washing my curtains. Yay! So now the curtains smell of soap. How about that, chat? How about that? And yeah, it's not that bad. Okay. Oh, I also was on a job interview today, which is very nice. Since I'm fully unemployed, it's merely that, well, partially laid off. Basically, it's not enough work, or so they argue, to justify 2 full-time employees. So, and I was the first. Last one in, first one out. That's how it goes, chat. But I wasn't laid off completely. Still has to come in on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Yeah. A little bit of water drinking ASMR. Might not necessarily be what you signed up for, but it's what you get. Because I want to stay hydrated. Okay, is there any... Oh, that one. And it just goes like that, like that. And then there's this super tiny triangle shape here. Whereabouts? No. What in the world was I thinking? It needs to be much further away because there's two whole figures between them. Between that shape and that shape. Even further back, but I think that the size of the shape is... what's tripping me off is like the width of my canvas isn't the same as the reference picture. That is tripping me off, but whatever. So, I don't think that we're gonna get much of that jewelry shadow. A little bit. So there are some shadowy blobs down here that we can sign there. Oh, never mind. They are right on the edge here. People over at Kick seem to be very keen on getting chatbots. Gotta respect the hustle, but... And I suppose more power to the people who want to do it, but for me, nah, I'm good. It's just a hobby. It's not something that I... Hang on, do I really want to do that? I mean, that is a shadow shape, but... Do I want? If I squint it, like, yeah, it kind of does. But anyway, let's see what we can do with it. Here. I mean, kind of just... That's probably way too big. Way too big and needs to be... I mean, we could just do that. Would be easier if we then carved out the ear itself, or carved out. Excuse me, carved out the highlights. Of course, it helps to put the highlights in the right place. Where are we starting at? We're starting at right about there. Okay. So up here, something like that. Right. Yeah, pretty close. And then we have, well, it's a bit rounded, and then we have a bit of a it shapes this triangular shape. And goes in. I mean, start something like that. Oh, I mean, okay, that, okay, fair enough, like it does. Touching on that, and then, sculpting this thing is going to be a real pain, but, you know, it is what it is. Right, and I suppose it just, all of this kind of just continues like that. A little bit, not a little bit higher this time, but a little bit lower actually. Yeah, there we go. Now we have a... That looks absolutely hideous. But I guess, excuse me, every illustration goes through a hideous stage. That's just how it goes, chat. Okay. A seashell. Okay, I'm not that terribly off. That's fine. Might need to be a little bit more arched. Oh well. I suppose that. Oh, sea star as well. But anyway. And I'm kind of regretting that I picked an ear for this because ears are not my strong suit, but you know. What am I talking about here? Okay. So that shadow shape kind of just disappears like that. And the ear. So you kinda lose all of this? Question mark. Something like that. Close. It just needs to be a bit further established. Right, and then we have the hump. Right, and we need to further refine the shadow fade. Here. Right. That's an ear and a half. Okay. And Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog. No, Shadow is much. Shadow the Hedgehog needs Down. Close. Ah. There we go. And then we can sort of continue that shadow quite a bit down. Like such? Is that... I mean, that's what I'm seeing, but of course the big question is that... Oh, okay, it needs to be much longer, first and foremost. A little bit too long, but okay. And it is actually just a bit of a separated. Ooh, pretty spot on actually. But it also the shadow is kind of just in like that. Right. And then there's the diamond, which is kind of nestled in there, but not. Right, and then of course there's the subject of the earring itself. Where are we, chat? All right. Yeah. Now we might have to start zooming in a little bit. Oh. Yeah, okay, now I'm seeing a bit easier to see the mistakes. Okay. Trick is to allow yourself, I mean, try to do as much as you can from a distance. Also, you have like the overview window in the corner. Look at that. I'm not sure what to do with her profile because, like, there are some bright spots like on her upper lip and on her nose, but squinting, like, the nose definitely pops out, so we gotta include that, and probably that there's a blank spot on her chin as well. But let's focus on the earring because that's, after all, the main star of the show, kinda, sort of, almost. Oh yeah, there's also a little, like, here? A little triangular shadow thing? Almost. Apparently, I'm not good at estimating the distance between fingers. Why? Because hands are freaking broad, I guess. That's why. There we go. Something like that. Okay. And I guess it should be, yeah, be more refined. Like such. Okay. Now then. Yes. Something. No. Actually, it goes like kind of like that. Oh. I mean, it's not perfect, but you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna take that cast shadow and run with it. Because after all, we have this arbitrary limit of an hour in total. So we don't have to be perfect. And then of course there's the issue of the ring itself. Is that it's pretty much right on the nope. That is pretty much spot on. Okay, can we then get the... How the heck are we supposed to get that diamond in there? I mean, the diamond is shiny. We only have 2 values. And of course it's right on the fringes of this other form shadow blob. So might have to come back to that one. But overall, yeah, okay. I just kind of need to just smooth this out a little bit. Yeah, good enough. I suppose we could subdivide her curly hair. Okay. So kind of have a profile, but you know it needs do I need to tuck it in here? Because like the nose goes... No, or I suppose that could be the bottom shadow of the bottom plane of the nose. Or at least a working point, starting point. Okay, interesting, interesting. And then from there, we kind of just have a little bit of a triangle. Yeah, right there. And yeah, like it goes her cheek. Huh. Yeah, we're gonna lose her profile to the shadows of her. Yeah, so we're just gonna forfeit. We're just gonna, excuse me, forfeit her profile in favor of a facial shadow. Okay, I can work with this, I think. It's an interesting way of working, but that you kind of like, oh yeah, that needs to be in shadow and all of this needs to be in shadow almost. But what I'm interested in going like, how are we gonna? Ooh. We're onto something, chat. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold your horses, chat. Chat even have horses? Asking the big questions here. Okay, so what if we now fill this stuff in? We're left with something that looks like that, which isn't necessarily super pretty and polished or anything, but you know, it works. Oddly enough. And then that curves down something like that. Question mark? Yeah. And then we can just do this. I dare say. Can you see the vision, chat? I hope you can. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about the chin profile, but there is like a triangular oasis, if you will. I'm not sure. Is that the right? Nope, it needs to be much further down. But I had the spirit chat. Oh yeah, like, oh yeah, of course. Oh, I see it now, because like it literally kind of ties into the bottom of her. Yeah, something like that, and then we can just fill in all. All of this. And I mean, that is the edge of her chin, but it kind of like, there's also this, yeah, indentation here, like that. Yeah, so we're just gonna fill in that too. Nice. I mean, like it does give her a. And there's the eyeball, and like it kind of points a little bit more upwards, I guess. A little bit more like that. Yeah, but it also sinks down a bit. Yeah, maybe not that much, but yeah. Again, good enough. I mean, I can see it. The only thing is, like, I'm not entirely sure. Like, no, I don't think there is a dentation there. I'm just gonna simplify it. Simplify chat. That's how we do it. Yeah, I have been looking into getting a LAN connection for my computer. And the frustrating thing is, like, I think I mentioned it in a previous chat or one of my other streams, but yeah, there is a LAN connection, like, in this wall, on the wrong side of the wall, that goes to the TV and PlayStation and all that jazz. I was thinking, like, well, if we just punch a hole through the wall and pull a wire and do the thing and connect it and blah 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 blah. But then I go like, there's a some electrical sockets, and I'm like, I ain't touching that. And also, ideally, I would like it to go to the hub, network hub in the apartment. That's already in the apartment, where all the other network points are. So I would have to get an electrician to do that. Thank you very much, because I hate. Yeah, but I'm a little bit optimistic because since there already is a network channel or network wiring that goes to the TV, I'm like, maybe we can piggyback on that to go. Up and over. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Still coughing. Not good, chat. Not good. Not good for me and not good for you. That's not quality streaming, yo. That's not quality streaming. Anyway. That's just not quality. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. The way that profile looked out. Yeah, we don't have the value. Like, there's some bounce light inside here, but I don't have the values for it. I don't have the values for her hand either. I can just allude to it with shadows, basically. Is that? No, that shadow shape is horrible. Go away. Okay, so if I just start with a blob and a longer blob. Start with a blob and a longer blob, that's always it. So that one needs to be cut off, and then we can do something like that. And the important part is that how does that look? Like, it's not bad. Okay, it needs to be. Okay, so this one needs to go like dig into that one, and then you have another one like it's exaggerated, but yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, it just needs to be a little bit. Keep making Star Wars references, chat. Get coffee. Mouse is gonna come and get me. Gonna get copyright strike one of these days. Hey. I mean, it's not that bad. For 45 minutes. About an hour's worth of. Yeah, like, sure, you can refine. I suppose we could try and go in with the details and polish and refine the shadows and make things look a little bit cleaner, keeping up appearances and whatnot. Right, I suppose. Right. Actually, that probably needs to be like that. And that one goes in there, and that one goes like such. Alright, now it looks a bit cleaner, a bit more refined. Oh. Alright, alright. Okay. Let's try? Like, we could try and do... I think there's just like one or... Yeah. Actually, this also needs to be a bit more reduced. Thank you very much. It needs to be smaller. So now we're kinda just touching up on the fluff and the details, really. Just come in here and, not like this, and turn it into something more, a little bit more, I don't know. A little bit less blocked in and more organic. It looks a little bit more hair-like. Here and there, you know how it is. It's not that bad, actually. It's, you know, you'd be surprised how much you can achieve with the very basic brushes. Probably why. I go like, oh no, it's just round and I can't do anything about it. But like, give and take. Give and take, champ. You add some, you erase some, you fiddle around with the brush size. Okay, now that seashell is actually bothering me. Right. It needs to be rounder? Rounder? Yeah, that's a good starting point. But also not... Yeah, okay, so it needs to curve more out. Okay, bigger brush probably. Yeah. A bit more like that, maybe? Yeah. Surprisingly close. And I mean, to get those kind of like squares in there, you kind of just have to make tiny little. This is to make tiny little rectangles. don't know. I don't think that that is... Alright, an effort was made. It's not the focal point, chat, so I'm not going to spend a metric ton worth of time on it. The hairline, I mean, it's part shadow on the head, but yeah, I guess we could pull it a bit. A bit further back, like such, to better reflect her actual hairline. But yeah, it's fuzzy, so tough to say. I suppose, well, there is a bit of a triangular very slim and elegant triangular shape. Yeah. And shadow. Trying as best as I can to sort of show blocking the hand without showing the hand. Her bikini also, or top strap here. I don't know. Hang on. I don't think that that is included in the. No, maybe there's a tiny little bit of it here. Then it kind of just disappears right off frame, doesn't it? Yeah. So it's a little bit of a shadow smudge there. Yeah, I could also round off. Probably round off this corner here, like such. It's not so angular. Yeah, like it's bounce light, but the problem with bounce light, chat, is that it belongs to the shadow fountain. And we only have one value for shadow. Tough luck. And the sea star is sea star is included. Yeah, cute. Excuse me. Let's see. Can we? Is that the right place for the sucker? Kind of. That's a good starting point. All right, he goes down, which is interesting because I think I'm gonna get 2 for 1 here. Tomorrow's prompt is actually a starfish, so hey. Because I don't think that we get to see all of it. No, we don't get to see all of it, but it definitely needs to be further down. There's a starfish like that. Yeah, why not? And then I don't know, we can sort of hint at it. I mean, it's not that bad. Again, you gotta set up a good enough. Even with a single value, 2 value study like this, it's good, like you can tweak on it until he does of the freaking universe if you really go in for it. But look at that, chat. From a distance, go like, yeah, okay. I'm happy with it. happy and you know it, clap your hands. That's not copyrighted, is it? There was a while back when somebody somewhere, was it Disney? Was it Disney that tried to copyright the Happy Birthday song? Somebody did. I mean, pretty sure I remember reading that. But that was years ago, though. Boomer streamer doesn't know how. Doesn't keep up with the times. That was ages ago, old man. Yeah. Happy with how it turned out. Got a small wins, chat. Small wins. Build up that confidence. Build up that momentum. Pat yourself on your back and go like, acknowledge. Yeah. Is there room for improvement? You bet. But, you know, you keep chipping away at it, one stroke at a time, one study at a time. Because the beautiful thing about this sort of thing is, yeah, that was I thought. It looks very small. Like you get low-key better at like seeing shapes and making decisions. I mean, her eye is not necessarily a focal point, but yeah, I suppose we could also include her eyebrow in this, which would add more to this shadow shape if we were just gonna allow that to be part of it, and which something that we should and arguably, which then will also make it curve a bit the other way. Clean up that shape. Yeah, but you start to see shapes and between values, and yeah, we're gonna have to make decisions, and I'm really conflicted about her forehead, because like there is a very like you could do something like that, right? See that, chat? And then you will lose all of that. Let's just try it. Round that corner off a little bit and make that a little bit more pointed. I mean, it works. I'm not gonna lie, chat, it works. But at the same time, not, because like when I'm squinting, the forehead kind of thing, like there's definitely a separation between, like it does get some, like it's either it's one of those things. Like, is it in light or is it in shadow? Make a decision. Like, all right, you make a decide. You decide to make to turn it into shadow. Like there are some highlights in her hair. I suppose we could try and go for something, I don't know, something like that. Or is that that might just be too much. There we could also just go like, I don't know. Let's just let's experiment, chat. Let's not be afraid to fail, and sort of just put some happy little accidents. Actually, let's try to better describe form. And just put some little happy highlights here and there, or maybe that's oh, thanks, I hate it. No, nope, 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 nope. That's too detailed. No, chat. We're not gonna do that. But like right above her, there is a. Squiggly wiggly here. Yeah. You don't necessarily want to overdo it and over render it and get like a little bit too lost in the detail. Yeah, but you simply do not have the values for it, chat. And technically speaking, you don't necessarily see this bikini strip or top strip there, because when you squint, it gets lost. So, yeah. Get out of here, strip. Gotta be honest with yourself, chat. Keep yourself accountable. But it, like, if we had more values, a bigger value range, then yeah, there you go. Some small refinements here and there. Clean things up a bit. But yeah, it's from here on out. It's just you have the big shapes, you have the medium shapes. Like it's adding more value. It's adding blending edges. What? Excuse me, more refinement and more polish. And that's how you sink hours and hours and hours into a illustration. Right, but I think that's it for today, chat. Thanks so much for stopping by. And it's gonna be interesting tomorrow because I have work tomorrow, so hopefully we can get things going at the same time. And we're gonna have some trying to paint a starfish. Let me see. Save this. Yep, I've saved it. Let's export it out to a PNG. And we can post and brag on it on social media. Hey! Alright then, chat. I think I will call it quits here. And see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully at the same time. But we'll have to wait and see. Okay, take care now. Bye-bye.